Good evening all, and welcome to the next instalment of the RSF1 season. This is round 10. I am Primus Gaming, and currently it's just me at the moment. We was going to be joined by Vettel SF1, but unfortunately he is unable to make it to today due to possible microphone troubles, so he will not be able to join us. But however, later on we will be joined by RSF1 Eastern, hopefully. But for the moment, it's just me for the qualifying, at least. If it's just me for the race, then unfortunately, so be it. We'll have to go on like that. But anyways, welcome to round 10. The lobby host today is RSF1 Waiter, so he will be the lobby host. But I see we have a couple of new faces within the grid today. We've got CCRL Cookie. We have also got RSF1 Ocon, and we've got 17 drivers, so a fair amount. We're missing Braver Container, we're missing Rip in One Shots, and we're missing IOX. So those are currently the missing drivers from the grid today. Anyways, we'll be waiting for the grid to get going momentarily once the drivers have readied up. Oh, RSF1 Waiter has unreadied up. A few missing cars still. Anyways, so we are at the Red Bull Ring, the Austrian Grand Prix circuit, which, Season 2 was actually the final race of the season due to it being stopped and moved to a later date. Or a later day, sorry. During the end stages of the championship, it was a battle between two people. It was Rapid Sprays in the Ferrari and Tomic Bresner in an Alfa Romeo. It's a very good race. Rapid Sprays had done everything correctly. He had taken the lead and stayed in the lead, made good strategy calls, fastest lap of the race. He took it. But Bresner managed to finish within the correct amount of points, even though Rapid Sprays had done everything correctly and maintained the lead. Tomic Bresner managed to get the correct amount of points to have beaten him just about in the championship, which was gutting for Rapids because he would have loved to have taken that championship win away with him, but unfortunately, Season 2 champion Tomic Bresner did take it. Breezy, morning lads, it's just Lad for the moment, mate. Just me. Just going to say this now. Apologies on connection. Normally I run on the Ethernet cable, but today, unfortunately, it's currently indisposed of, so running wireless. So to be expected with wireless, and I have relayed it to everyone, that it will jump. It will jump. So if there is the odd little spike where a tiny bit of lag happens, I'm sorry, but with wireless, it does happen. You can have perfect connection, but it always has a down spike. So take that with a pinch of salt. Steerage, good luck, McLaren. Looking forward to being back next week. RSF from Vettel, good evening, people. Mikey Yates, 420. Hello, everyone. Hello, Mikey Yates. We are just about to begin the qualifying as the drivers had to ready up. Actually, we just collected another car. It's Rip in One Shot in the Racing Point. Nice. So, yeah, unfortunately, I would have my co-commentator with me today, but as I said, Vettel is currently dealing with a bit of a mic problem, so he unfortunately will not be able to take part today. And Easton will hopefully be able to join us near the end, near the beginning of the Grand Prix, but probably by the end of qualifying, because it did take us a few minutes to get the lobby going. And RSF on Vettel, hello Primus, alone in comms today. I am alone, as bad as it is, I know, but it is what it is. So hopefully it'll be a good day. And again, warning in advance, because I'm not running on a wired connection today, the quality might seem a little bit off. Hopefully not by much. But please, just for today, excuse it. Top notch, boom, hi all. Eastern will be around 30 minutes, so Easton will be joining us soon. Hello AJ. Right, so we are now in Q1. So for anyone who's new, because I see Mikey Yates is a new name. Good night JH. Also a new person in, so welcome to them. So if any of you are new like those two, we are in the qualifying and we run full qualifying. So we've got Q1, 2 and 3. So in Q1, cars from 20th to 16th place will be eliminated from the session. In Q2, cars from 15th place to 11th place will be eliminated. And then in Q3, the top 10 shootout will be a fight for who can get the fastest lap and start on pole for the Grand Prix. RSF1 Raikkonen, if the connection starts to cause a problem, I'm on standby to take over. Yeah, that sounds good. But yeah, I'd like to say welcome to those two new names I've not seen before. Good night JH and Mikey Yates. So meanwhile, let's get that map fully on. And the first car on the track is CCRL Cookie. So he will be in the Scuderia Ferrari. Raikkonen subscribed at Tier 1. They've subscribed for 6 months, currently on a 6-month streak. So congratulations to Raikkonen. Top-notch rain mid-race. So that's going to be spicy. So let's stay on board of this Ferrari, as he will be the first car of the grid to set a flying lap. So things you need to know about this Grand Prix, if you're really quick enough, well, I mean, people probably have in their career mode, you could actually do this track in just about under a minute. It's one of the quickest Grand Prix circuits of the entire calendar. Here we go, Ace Cookie. Round the second to last corner. Last corner, here he goes. So on board with CCRL Cookie, DRS enabled, going down the start-finish straight, looking very good. Now this is the louder curve, this is turn 1. Make sure you get a nice tight entry in, don't catch too much of the curb on the outside, on the left-hand side of the track there, where that would invalidate and cause problems. Obviously, invalidated your lap, then that's wasted a good lap of tyre life. Now, hearing from turn 3, good run. Just catches the apex slightly, it's very nice, tidy line, DRS enabled again, don't get on the grass there, CCRL Cookie, otherwise that will compromise the lap. Now, at the end of the straight, that's actually hugging it nice and close, it's very good. Now, the two left-handers, this is a very, very big pain of a couple of corners, because if you run wide there onto those curbs, that could compromise, but he's still looking good. CCRL Cookie is actually holding in a very, very respectable lap. Round the second to last corner he goes. Flat out in 7th gear nearly. There we are, 5th gear coming around the last corner. It's a very nice wide exit, and he looks like he gets a really good run. A 1 minute 3.4, so very good work. Vettel Primer shows the sub 1 minute lap. I would love to. RSF1 Hush, I want the Rain Vettel. Steerage, Rain Dub. RSF Vettel Madman. Good night JH, the steering wheel is a controller. Yes and no. So some people within the league do run steering wheels. So as you can see, probably by Muddy Biscuits on board, the Haskar, the American team, you can see the way his steering is going, actually a wheel driver. When, meanwhile, I think you probably noticed maybe that CCRL Cookie might have been one of the pad users. So definitely a load of different people with different setups. It's nice to see though, adds a bit of a variety. And actually, we'll go on board with Muddy Biscuit, the Canadian Grand Prix winner, back a couple of races ago. Now begins his flying lap. For Haas, into turn 1 he goes. Looks like he probably could have carried out a little bit more speed from turn 1, but he keeps it going nonetheless. He's got a car up in front of him, that's a Renault. DRS, RSF1 K-Mag lets him go by nicely, now into turn 3. Oh, a little bit at the back end there, you could see a little bit of a stab there to the left there on the steering to try and save the car, because he put on too much throttle and it really set the car pretty badly coming out the corner. Now, on the throttle again, it looks like he's a little bit late there on the power, so that would have cost him some time. Down to 5th gear, Just tapping the throttles, making sure not to be too excessive, as it can be compromising. Now that left curb can be pretty good, but if you catch a certain part of it at full throttle, that will send the car off. Speaking from experience, now down to 7th gear. Actually, he's gone up to 6th gear. That's probably lost a little bit of speed there, Muddy Biscuit, but crosses the line. And that's a 1 minute 4.1. So Muddy Biscuit did try his best there, but it looks like he probably could have made some time, but had a couple of bad corners. So very good work there from Muddy Biscuit, but we'll come back to him in the Haas later on. On board with RSF1 K-Mag. And steerage, only 2 guys I know running no assist, Eitz and Lukey. Alright, so it looks like in terms of the stream's not really lagging per se, but when it has a little bit of a moment, it does go down to like a little bit of a crappier quality, and then actually starts to get good again. But Dragayan, I can't understand what you're saying there, buddy. But welcome to the stream. That's another new face that we haven't actually seen before, so that's 3 new people. So we've got JH and Mikey Yates. So all 3 of you, welcome to RSF1. Hopefully you enjoy the race. Obviously, qualifying. So these guys are just doing lap times to making sure they can get through the session. Currently we have 11 minutes and 23 seconds left, and K-Mag goes 4th fastest with a 1 minute 3.9, but he invalidates going over the first corner. Grantastrophe, meanwhile, in the Williams gets a 1 minute 3.5, so very good work there from Grantastrophe. Now go on board in Moronix's Mercedes. The Gaming Dog, hello, welcome. Welcome to RSF1. So Moronix on board with him in the Mercedes. Meanwhile, Ripping One Shot actually moves up to P5. So very good work there from Ripping One Shots, and also JJ Hudson P6 for 1 minute 3.9. RS Moronix in the Mercedes. What's your guys' opinion? Do you prefer? Oh, yeah, I'm doing well. Sorry. I'm doing very well, thank you. Moronix in the black Mercedes. Do you guys prefer the silver livery for Mercedes, or do you like the black livery that they did, which Mercedes had launched to show their support in the fight against racism? And I do quite like black, but a part of me sometimes also kind of misses the silver and the silver arrows. But originally, the Mercedes actually stripped all the paint off of their cars way back in the days. And then gave birth to the name Moronix. As I said, on those 2 left-handers, you go too wide coming out, and that will invalidate the lap. And Moronix has learned that the hard way in his Mercedes. Currently the only Mercedes, as Braver Container will not be taking part in the Grand Prix. Now, a new name that I have not seen before is RSF1 Ocon. So Ocon in the AlphaTauri, which is quite weird because the real Esteban Ocon drives for Renault. Up the straight from turns 2 into 3. Purple first sector from Ocon, so very good work there. Actually looks like quite a tidy exit from turn 3, but sounds like he did go on a little bit late there on the throttle. Next is, car there snapping to the left. He saved it, so very good work. And he invalidates the lap because he went way too wide there coming out that first left-hander. So if anyone would like to ask any questions, especially the new guys, in the chat that I can see, please feel free to leave a question in the comment. Oh, careful! Oh! Ocon. Way too aggressive going in the pits then. Snapped his car back. That could have been bad. Element Snow in the Red Bull. This is actually Red Bull's home circuit. So JJ Hudson and Element Snow is repping the team's home race. But what can Element Snow do in his Red Bull? And the last corner he goes. And it validates in the last moments. Every time you say goodnight, JH, it's like a heart punch of joy. Well, well, I guess I'll keep saying it then. But Element Snow, unlucky to the Red Bull driver. Went around the last corner, went too wide coming out of turns 10 and invalidated his flying lap. So Element Snow, currently P18, will have to go back around again. But yeah, any of the new faces in the chat, please drop any questions, or for me, for the league, or about the race / track or driver. If you have any questions in general, please feel free to ask. Currently at the moment, it is just me in the chat, so, well, in the comms box, so I'm the only one who can answer questions. We will be joined momentarily by our youngest commentator in the team, Easton, in about half an hour, 20 minutes. RSF1 Waiter. I remember seeing his battle in Canada, and it was a very good battle indeed. Well, he battled JJ Hudson on the very last lap after very good pace on his worn soft tyres and took the win in Canada. But because of his penalties, he got relegated down to 3rd place. But still, RSF1 Waiter was very happy the fact that he crossed the line first before the penalties and still collected his first podium of the season. Jurgen, how tall are you? I don't even know that, to be honest, mate. I haven't even checked to see how tall I am. Steerage, no line 2. Air Jordan, I have arrived. Welcome, Air Jordan. So we've got so many new names in the chat today. So for anyone that is new to the chat, this is Q1, 3 qualifying sessions of the day. So this is Q1, and actually RSF1 Waiter's on a belter of a lap because he just purpled the 2nd sector. For anyone who's new, that means they've done the fastest overall of the session. RSF1 Waiter actually moves into 3rd place with a 1 minute 3.7, so very good work there from Waiter. And it looks like a few other cars is getting onto flying laps. Shrimper, the Australian Grand Prix winner back in round 1, looking to make a good impression. He is on it. RSF1 Source, what's up? How is everyone doing? Very good, thank you. Grantastrophe, subscribed with Prime. They subscribed for 5 months, currently on a 2-month streak. Congratulations to Grantastrophe. Down the straight goes Shrimper. And he goes 3rd fastest. He splits the Williams. So currently it's looking very close between Ferrari and Williams today. That's actually a classic battle, really. Back in a day when you had Ayrton Senna, Damon Hill, quite a few different people that raced in the Williams team, and Ferrari. Oh, Ferrari's had Michael Schumacher, Rubens Barrichello, Eddie Irvine. Classic names. So, anyone got any questions? Good night, JH. Jordan, come sit with me. I got beer and hot dogs. Actually does sound pretty good, to be fair. Steerage, no assists in wet will be a chance. Oh yeah, because it's going to be a wet race. So if anyone's not experienced a wet Grand Prix yet, this will be a good one. As some cars are now going back into the pits. So Brutal Reapers. Actually, oh yeah, Brutal Reapers is now a permanent Racing Point driver. Whoa. Going off the track. He's actually going into Valtteri Bottas's mowing centre. Because after the Austrian Grand Prix qualifying session, Valtteri Bottas goes off on that section of the track, and someone's decided to label it on Google Earths. So, at the moment, the drivers that are in danger of being eliminated from the first qualifying session is Brutal Reapers, Breezy, and Element Snow. So the Racing Point, McLaren, and Red Bull are looking very nervous at the moment. Both the Williams drivers feel a 1 minute 3.5 and 1 minute 3.7 is a competent lap and retire from the session. They feel pretty safe. And right now, the top 3 goes CCRL Cookie in the Ferrari. He's actually gone back out again on his worn tyres. 1 minute 3.4 to the leading Ferrari driver at the moment. Grantastrophe, 2nd place with a 1 minute 3.552. And Shrimper in the other Ferrari, so both the Ferraris looking pretty good around here today, a 1 minute 3.619. Oh, this Austrian Grand Prix circuit has seen so much action before. I think I remember seeing Takuma Sato and an Arrows or a Jordan making contact. Breezy actually just makes a really good lap and puts himself in front of his teammate Eitz in 6th. So well done to Breezy, moving out the way as well for the Ferrari, because he thought the Ferrari was on a flying lap, which it wasn't. Top notch, Alfa Romeo on board with him. Up into turn 3, CCR Cookie moves out the way, so it's a very good job from him. Top Notch is looking pretty good around here. I think I remember last year's race in F3, when Top Notch raced in the F3 division. He looked very competitive. Oh, looks like he actually missed the apex by quite a bit there. Costed him probably a good few tenths of a second into the two left-handers. Can't go too wide here, but luckily he doesn't exceed the track limit. Actually goes fastest in the mid-sector. The Top Notch is holding it. And in Formula 1, temps matter massively, so all about consistency. And Top Notch round the last corner very wide, luckily not to invalidate his lap, moves 4th fastest, and he puts himself in between a Williams and a Ferrari. So the Italian racing teams are putting themselves up there. So very good work from them. Meanwhile, Ocon has moved down to the elimination zone. Brutal Reapers down in 17th place as well, who's now had to put on a fresh set of tyres to do another flying lap. So we'll have to go on board with that racing point and see what he can do. Steerage, this is a nice tier, to be fair. Love racing here. Very close. I agree. This tier is brilliant. And I think I've had fond memories of F2 from Season 1 with the Season 1 champion, Magic Marks, and the racing point. Very, very good memories there. Skunk Burner as well, his rival. Season 2 was Rapid Sprays, Atomic Bresner, and actually Skunk Burner for a while, until Skunk Burner had to bug out of the championship battle, which was a bit of a shame, but very good work there. And then this season, it's actually really hard to tell, because we've actually had multiple Grand Prix winners, and not a steady one. But here goes Brutal Reapers, as he's trying to get himself out of the elimination zone, moves into 2nd place. Racing Point is safe for the moment, except for Ripping One Shot. Meanwhile, Stygian is on his flying lap in the Renault. Steerage was winning title, but missed last 2 races. Ah, that's a shame. Ah, see, that's why Eitz has taken the vacant McLaren seat. That's unlucky, buddy. Meanwhile, Stygian going down the end of the straight. Hugging that apex quite nicely. On the power now to the 2 left-handers. We've seen many people go too wide here and invalidate their laps. This Renault has only one opportunity to get a flying lap done. Meanwhile, Element Snow crosses the line and only stays in 18th place, so poor Element will be starting from the back of the grid. Meanwhile, Stygian, he has to get this lap gone, otherwise he will be eliminated from Q1. The Renault round the last corner he goes. Can he get himself up into Q2 with this flying lap? And he does, P8. Nicely done, but that doesn't mean it's over yet, because Lukey and XFR Peanut have to set laps. Ripping One Shot goes 15th fastest. Peanut crosses the line, goes 8th fastest. That pushes One Shot out of Q1. Meanwhile, Lukey, can he get himself up there? He does, and that pushes out Stygian's teammate, K-Mag. Very, very competitive lap times coming out, as the fastest time is a 1 minute 3.4. And oh, didn't even get to see that. Actually, I'll put up the table so you guys will be able to see a little bit better. But most of the grid from P1 to P18, to P17, 1 minute 3.9 was the slowest time before Element Snow. 1 minute 3.4, half a second separated first from 17th. So the 3 drivers eliminated from Q1 is Element Snow in the Red Bull, 17th is Ripping One Shot in the Racing Point, and 16th is RSF1 K-Mag in the Renault. And then we go to the top 3, it's CCR Cookie in the Ferrari, Brutal Reapers in the Pink Panther, the Racing Point, in second place, and Shrimper in the other Ferrari completes the top 3. So very competitive at the moment, but I don't think people will need to worry too much about strategy because, as it's been reported during the rain, there will be race. So for the new people like Goodnight JH, Air Jordan, Mikey Yates, and anyone else, the fact that there's rain in the session, in the race, has really changed things up because if it was dry, everyone would have to switch between the 3 tyres, which you have the soft compound tyre, which is the fastest, but wears out the quickest. The medium compound tyre, which is, as it says, it's actually the second hardest tyre, well, second to last hard tyre compound. It's moderate, does good. It's not got as much grip as the softs, but it lasts longer. However, the hard tyre is the hardest compound, as per its name. It lasts the longest, but it doesn't have as much grip as the mediums or the softs. So quite a few people are chucking out medium tyres. So you've got Lukey, you've got Ocon, you've got JJ, XFR Peanut, Catastrophe, Waiter, Moronix, Breezy. A Ferrari, however, of Cookie, is choosing to stay on those soft tyres. Dan Oliver, Cookie in Q2, nice. I agree with Gazer. Very nice to see a new name, doing pretty well. I'm pretty sure he must have been here for the French Grand Prix, but I wasn't about then. So CCRL Cookie has got a little bit of traffic behind him. Is he going to let the Alfa Romeo go? Or is the Alfa Romeo going to stay with him? Here we go, the Scuderia Ferrari. Obviously for this year in real life Formula 1, they could be having a better season with unfortunate things happening to them. Oh, a slow car in the third sector. That is a Williams. And here we go with CCR Cookie on his flying lap. This is one of the cars on the soft compound tyre. Up he goes. Up the hill, up into turn 1, which is the louder curve. And looking very nice and tidy, going up the straight. Steerage, it is, if it's wet during race, it's worth mediums to try to not pit until wet. Gives more options on the mediums. CCR Cookie, still pushing down the straight. Been very good. Here we go, into the right-hander. Runs a little bit wide coming out of that corner, to be fair. Keeping on the 2 left-handers. Oh, it goes wide! And that has ended CCRL Cookie's flying lap. Unfortunate. Now we go on board with Notch in the Alfa Romeo, who was just behind him. Pushing quite heavily down the straight. RSF1 Notch backs off. He could have set what would have been a monumental lap. But at the very last moment, he just chooses not to set the time. He feels he could probably do better. Moronix, 1 minute 4.6. Obviously, for anyone who's not watched the Grand Prix, the real one, I mean, the Eiffel Grand Prix, which is the Nürburgring. It's been a very interesting day for many of the fans of McLaren, Mercedes, Red Bull, Renault, Racing Point. It's been a really, really heavy week, and I'm just making sure I don't say the results immediately in case anyone has not watched the Grand Prix. But today, a record has been broken by Kimi Räikkönen for the most Grand Prix starts of F1 history. He's the F1 driver who's done the most starts of all time since the sport's beginning. So congratulations to Kimi Räikkönen for being that one driver to hold that record. Also, congratulations to Lewis Hamilton. Me personally, I'm not a Mercedes fan, but Lewis Hamilton did very, very good today because he matched Michael Schumacher's record. He battled Valtteri Bottas. And at the end of the Grand Prix, he actually got a surprise, and he was gifted the 2012 race helmet that belonged to Michael Schumacher, F1 legend, 7-time world champion, Michael Schumacher. Keep fighting, Michael. We all hope that you do come back to us soon, even though you won't be able to fully have full range of movement, I expect, due to the severity of your accident. Myself and the rest of RSF1 would like to keep wishing Michael Schumacher well. But yeah, Lewis Hamilton finished the race, and Michael's son Mick came along and gave Lewis his helmet. And to see Lewis Hamilton actually lost for words was actually a really rare sight, because he's normally got a lot to say about things, but Lewis Hamilton actually was baffled by what he was given. Oh, Brutal Reapers! Just as I was talking about Lewis Hamilton, Brutal Reapers has a very bad wobble going down a corner. Now the last corner. Oval 1. All fastest for Brutal Reapers. Well done. Has anyone got any questions at the moment? Cat's a bit quiet. As the cars are going back around, some have invalidated. Like, Ocon must have invalidated in the very last moment, because if you invalidate like last corner, it invalidate the lap that you're on and the next one that you're going on. So not good for Ocon. So he will have to go back around. Waiter in the Williams. Through turn 1, the ladder curve. Down the straight he goes. Williams power down. Brakes just around 75 metres, or probably just a little bit before that. Down the straight. Actually fastest first sector, so it looks like Waiter's actually got the real good pace around here. Last time I saw a good pace from Waiter was back in Canada, which was one of his favourite Grand Prix circuits. Now to the two left-handers. I think they're Degners. Oh, he runs wide! He runs wide. Very last moment, invalidates his lap time. He will be bitter about that. Stigent on board of him goes fastest in the first sector. Steerage. What do you think is top 3, Primus, this race? Hard to say. I think I'll be able to tell you once we get into the top 10 shootout of Q3, which is 7.5 minutes away. But if I could say some people that have shown some competent race pace, it has been Stygian, Catastrophe, Waiter, Shrimper, and Moronix. Actually, welcome, Easton. My co-commentator has arrived in place for Vettel SF71, who will not be joining us today. Welcome, Easton. And as I said, he's the youngest commentator in the league. So, for any of you new guys who have not heard him before, this is Easton. How are you doing, Easton?
I'm doing fine. Thanks, yourself.
Very good, thank you. Have you included your audio?
Yeah.
Awesome. So, we've had quite a few new faces in the chat today, so it's good to see. Easton. Right, so Red Bull Ring,
Yes.
and we got some rain.
Oh.
Rain is, yeah, mid Grand Prix. Easton? Easton's gone again. Oh, so CCR Cookie invalidates yet again. Very quiet Q2.
It's quite a sore notes under to 6.
That's alright. Going through turn 1 goes Moronix. He's actually choosing to go onto the soft compound tyre because he's currently in danger of being eliminated in P9. He's looking to make a safety lap. But that means he's choosing to use the softs to go to all the wet weather. But the thing is when the game says halfway through the Grand Prix that there's going to be rain, that's not normally the case. It tends to be, it says halfway, but actually it's like really close to the start. Maybe like lap 5 or lap 6.
What, the softs? Or the rain? What were you talking about? Wasn't really paying attention.
Apparently it's going to be light rain, for what I know. So it will definitely switch to intermediate conditions, but it's a matter of what tyre are people using to start with to go until the rain arrives. But Moronic goes fastest for 1 minute 3.5 in Q2 on the soft compound tyre, tops the table in the Mercedes.
Fair play. Yeah, I got told that it was the last block of the race the rain was coming by Mr. One Shot Grant and Moronics.
Top
So
Notch said it was halfway through.
Maybe, I don't know. I would personally... Well, the mediums aren't as good as last year, they don't go as far, which I've found out in doing some practice. So anyone outside the top 10 wouldn't be a bad shout starting on the hards, I reckon, or going soft set of mediums.
Is this a high degradation circuit?
Yeah, I wouldn't say high, but it's definitely worse than last game.
Okie dokie, that's going to be a real game changer. For any of the new guys in the stream, if you're looking for the action where the race starts, will be happening in just under 20 minutes. In just over 15 minutes, because we've got 3.5 minutes about remaining of Q2, and then Q3 will be a 12-minute session. So if you want to see the action, you have to join us at that moment. Stay on board with RSF1 Notch. He's going out onto the medium tyre, and he wants to see if he can do better. He's just backed off, and he's letting a Red Bull. Sorry?
Quite open in the stream chat. Just because why not?
Go JJ Hudson, my last corner. As it's been pointed out, I'm running on wireless connection today, so if there's the odd little down spike of anything, apologies, but I think that can be really done because I'm running wireless today. But JJ Hudson, Red Bull, as I said, Red Bull's home circuit. Pushing down the straight. Fastest first sector. JJ Hudson actually has proven these, didn't he? He has the pace.
Yeah.
You remember Canada?
Yeah,
he actually was fighting. Yeah, he was fighting for the lead, and he actually got overtaken on the very last moment on the final straight leading up to the final chicane when the Wall of Champions is. Waiter got past him, and temporarily JJ was the race winner until Muddy Biscuit crossed the line penalty-free, and it demoted JJ down to P2, but still, that was a good race.
Yeah, very good race. Because I can remember sitting watching it after I had my own race, and it was a very close one as he's just about to come through the final corner, track limit city. It's like,
oh!
Good lap.
300ths of a second off of Moronics.
Oh, who's on a lap I can spot? I think it's Brutal Reapers. Just Muddy Biscuits finishing one coming up to the penalty corner. He's nailed that, fair play.
Ferrari powered hash car.
3.8.
Okay. And then Brutal Reapers actually purpled the first sector. Purple's the second sector. This is looking like a really quick lap from the racing point.
Yeah, race by one of the nicest cars and one of the best handling as well, in my opinion.
Around the last corner, a little bit wide. The racing point of Brutal Reapers crosses under the fastest lap, a 1 minute 3.3, and that's bang on the dot. Now that's
Wait, I could be out. I'm not being funny, but if he can make it round in time, he's invalidated. Starting at turn 1.
No.
It could be in danger. Cookie knock on aren't going to be going out again. Breezy's coming round.
So definitely Ocon and Cookie are out of the session. They do not have enough time to get out of the pits. And that's top notch. So only Lukey and Breezy can advance and knock Waiter down. Oh, second fastest by the McLaren.
It's got to be close for Waiter.
Waiter's going to be biting the bullet. It all depends on what Stidgen can do.
Oh no, just
as
done
well
a
as
next
Lukey.
lap in validation.
Who just did?
Waiter done a next lap in validation. He made it, but he for his second run. Oh, it's a bit of an
Oh, this is close. Lukey rounds the last corner. And Stidgen invalidated. Waiter may have suffered a massive mistake.
Look, he's just made it through.
Safe. XFR Peanut, however.
Oh no!
He runs wide, but not invalidated though.
Oh, he's backed off it though.
Oh, he's backed off. That could have potentially saved Peanut today. Not for today. Meanwhile, Muddy Biscuit is the last car to go around, well actually the second to last car to go around the track, and he's actually run out of fuel. And Breezy, he's actually got the same. Breezy's ran out of fuel in his orange McLaren.
Oh yeah, that's a good point actually from steerage. From
yeah,
Ice down to looking 4 people on the mediums.
Yeah, Ice and Lukey, actually. Lukey just narrowly made it into Q3, but he's worn his mediums in on 3 laps. So that's kind of a bit of a pain for him. 3-lap-old mediums, and will they take him?
Wait, Cookie's on a lap. He was in the pits.
Is he?
Yeah. It's definitely him driving.
Cookie should not have been able to set a lap. He was in the pits just a moment ago.
Yeah, he shouldn't. If he sets a lap, he'll most likely get the same fate as me. That's what I got in F1.
Yeah, that's what we've noticed as well, Grantastrophe. Cookie is going for a flying lap after the time has ended. So this is actually clearly a little bit of oversteer as he suffered there.
Let's get if he completes a lap, it ruins Lookie's strategy.
Yeah, he will have eliminated Lukey when Lukey just narrowly made it into the top 10, sorry. Well, CCR Cookie does. Oh my god, no!
He's just ruined.
Cookie has just completely ruined Lukey. So going over, the drivers eliminated should have been CCRL Cookie among that pack, but
I feel bad for
mistake, a mistake that he made could potentially cost him. If Cookie wins the Grand Prix, it will be probably revoked. But Ocon gets 15th, Top Notch 14th, Stidgen 13th, Peanut 12th, and Lukey sadly in 11th. Waiter actually made it through on mediums. Waiter, Ice, and Grunt.
Do I get Stidgen quickly? See what happened on his lap.
Yeah, we can get Stidgen in, but I just feel really, really bad for Lukey because that move was not allowed. As per the rulebook, which everyone in RSF1 has been issued in the Discord, it is stated as well that you can't really do a lap. Is that true, Easton, in the rulebook? After the time has ended, you're not allowed to do a lap.
It's not in the rulebook, but technically it sort of is, but sort of not at the same time.
It's not allowed because, as you said, that some people got punished, including yourself, for doing that beyond the timer.
I get disqualified, so most likely be a similar fate.
Brady Hill, Cookie's a fraud, BS Lukey out of Q3. We do agree with you that was not a good move from CCRL Cookie. Has completely relegated Lukey as he was going to make it through into Q3, but he should not have been given the opportunity to go back around and do a flying lap after the timer had ran out. So As it's probably aware now that if they're watching, CCR Cookie is now under investigation by the stewards for crossing the line. Yeah, I wish we could get the live graphics, but cool. Sadly can't. But yeah, CCR Cookie is under investigation by the stewards for crossing and starting a flying lap after the session had initially ended, and has resulted in this, the elimination of Lukey, who was before P10, and CCR Cookie was last in Q2. And yeah, so the stewards will be investigating that after the Grand Prix.
Go on, Grunt, set us all up.
So Grunt is the first car to set a flying lap. Please take us through and on board.
Okay, so I don't know if this sort of counts quite a bit without counting it. So up into turn 2, brakes just after the 100-metre board into turn 3, first gear for a bit extra rotation, short shifts and exit to make sure the car isn't getting any wheel spin down into turn 3. Very nicely down into third gear. Gets that nicely, runs it right out to the curve through this long turn 4. Now into turn 5, one of my favourite corners in the calendar personally. Oh, he's just kept that valid for turn 6. Now for turn 7 he's done that very nicely, very committed from Grunt. And one of the trickier corners in the track, turn 8. Drops it at 6th momentarily, and at 7th, round 5th for the last corner. What's it going to be? Just 3.3 starts off. What a lap. JJ Hudson, 3.6. Ronix, what's he got in his locker? 4th lap.
So very good job there from JJ, Gruntastrophe and Moronix, because that is a top performance there.
Here comes Breezy. 3.4. What's Ice going to do?
Oh!
A 3.5.
And Ice moves up into a good position, but the Canadian Grand Prix winner goes round the last corner, keeps it nice and honest, going through that, moves to P5. Speaking from experience, Easton, of being, obviously, this is your second season in RSF1, is it? Because was you here season 1?
I was here halfway through season 1.
Oh, okay, so the Austrian Grand Prix. What would you say is the better starting position, on the right side or the left side? Because obviously P1 is not always the best starting position on certain tracks. What would you say would be an ideal starting position on Austria?
Well, I don't know which sides, but I remember last season I started 15th, I think it was. Took easy at turn 1, avoid crashes, and just go from there. But the season before season 1 I started in pole. And got a little bit of a gift before getting overcut. Oh, what's happened?
Brutal Reapers invalidates in the second to last corner and clips his way into the pits as he invalidated from getting too much on the curb on the inside, and invalidates. RSF1 Waiter crosses the line and moves up to P4. It's currently a McLaren sandwich at the minute, because we've got 2 bits of bread, which is our Williams, and the fill-in being our McLarens. And it looks like there's been a clear showing from the chat of the bit of disappointment from the chat. You know, they're not happy with the move pulled by CCRL Cookie within Q2.
Oh, Shrimper. How's he kept that valid? I'm very curious. Shrimper, teach me.
P7 though.
He must have left it off fully.
Meanwhile, the driver under investigation is about to begin a flying lap. He invalidated his initial flying lap.
That's his new name. Driver under investigation.
The driver under investigation, yeah. Yeah, but here he goes. CCRL Cookie in the Ferrari. Crosses the line and moves up into turn 1. CCRL Park, that is not appropriate behaviour. CCRL Cookie should not have actually been going into Q3, but moved into Q3 due to taking advantage of the game bug. So, yeah, Clark, that is not really sportsmanship behaviour, please. So, if you have anything to say it after the race, not during. Meanwhile, Cookie, mid-sector, doesn't go fastest in the first sector from what I can see. Through the second sector into, I think it's the Degners. Doesn't go wide. Fastest second sector by CCRL Cookie. That's Ace Cookie, isn't it? He changed his name.
No, it's not Ace Cookie, no. Because I've known Cookie for a little bit now. He's not Ace Cookie.
Okay. Oh, invalidates. Last
Here
corner.
comes Hudson.
And that was an invalidation. Agreed with Raikkonen there. Calm it down, lads. Please leave it to the right people. Agreed. JJ Hudson, Red Bull. Representing the We Drivers 1 campaign. Last corner invalidates.
What's this going to be?
What would he have done though? 1:37. So, quick time, but it wouldn't have beaten his previous best. And Brutal Reapers in the racing point on a flying lap. Goes past the Mercedes. Good work to Moronics for letting him go by. A little bit wide. Reapers almost invalidated, but kept it just in the nick of time. Now, second to last corner. Careful not to get too much curve on the inside here and not to go too wide coming out here. Last corner, this is Mobile 1. Oh, he keeps it just in the track limits. Very good work from Brutal Reapers, and that's third fastest. He gets himself right in between both the Williams and the McLaren.
Fair play. I'll give him that. Very good lap.
That's good. Respectful.
Yeah, but so get him up the grid. Here's Morales, what can he do? Oh, purple first.
I'll let you do this on board, Easton.
Okay, so coming down the second DRS straight. He's gonna brake just after 100 metre board down into turn 3. Does that nicely, leaves it in third gear to get a bit more rotation through this little turn 4 and into turn 5. Does that very nicely, touches that inside cover and runs it right out to the pass. Oh no!
Too wide in the Degners.
Yeah, I don't think it's called the Degners. Because I believe the Degners
I don't know. I've forgotten those corner names. I haven't been able to do much studying with the track again. So, I don't know. I thought I'd call them the Degners just because it will be easy to remember. But Moronics looks like he's going back around again, but I guess a little snap of oversteer going into turn 1.
He's not found as much time, but he's still perfect that first sector. Turns it in nicely second gear. Short shifts and exit to make sure the car doesn't get wheel spin. Revs it right out, the gears. Down into turn 3, does that nicely. Down into third gear, gets the car turned in nicely. Then we're in turn 4. And then it's quick into turn 5 here. Turns in very late. Runs right up against that curve. Oh, he's done it again.
Again!
Oh.
The same location! He's going to be beating himself up over that. Unlucky.
Oh, he's got
Speeds into the pit. Meanwhile, CCRL Cookie. He's now making his way around again. Moronics knows he probably doesn't have enough time to go back out again and do another lap. So Moronics calls it a day for Q3 and retires in P9.
I've just jumped on board with Muddy Biscuit here. Comes to turn 5. Does that nicely. He's a 10th up, he is. We'll put him near the front. To turn 6. Turn 7, sorry. We'll turn 8. He's done that very nicely, he has. Oh, he's done. Oh
no!
He's got time for another run before.
We're going to see a lot of that, by the way. Last corner invalidations, but that's not at the fault of the drivers. This is a very tough track for track limits. Breezy, meanwhile, he's getting himself ready for another lap, but he's not turned up his ERS, so he's not going for it. Meanwhile, JJ Hudson is in the Red Bull, but he's now going to encounter traffic. Goes and gets past that McLaren. Very nicely done there by Breezy, making sure that he's not impeding the Red Bull. Barry, TRC Turner, Lukey, aren't you racing? He is racing, but unfortunately he would have made it into Q3 if CCR Cookie did set a lap time after the time had finished. JJ Hudson! Oh! CCR Cookie takes top of the table with a 1-3-3.
Or is that just me being a bit silly?
No, there was a car that was deciding to go for Rallycross. That was, I think that was Breezy in the McLaren. And that's the end of Q1. No, Q3, sorry. That's the end of Q3. JJ Hudson has finished his lap. CCR Cookie has set a flying lap.
Here comes Shrimper.
Shrimper in the scooter rear. Puts himself top of the table. Beats his teammate. Very nice work from him. Meanwhile, we'll go on board with RSF1 Waiter. He goes round the second to last corner. He's up on his time, but can he get even more up on his time? Round the last corner, the Williams goes. Doesn't go too wide going through the last corner. RSF1 Waiter, he crosses the line in P4.
What's McLaren next? Oh, Breezy's in the gravel.
Oh no, in the gravel trap goes Breezy. Meanwhile, Eitz, he goes round the last corner and gets P5. Muddy Biscuit next across the line, stays there, and Catastrophe moves to second. Oh my god, this is Ferrari and Williams.
That was close.
Oh my god, it's Ferrari versus Williams. This is going back to the old days. Jean Alesi, Alain Prost, Damon Hill, Nigel Mansell. We're going way back. Oh. Well done to the top 10. Easton, would you like to go over the top 10 for everyone in Q3? As soon as we get the table up, because I know obviously you can't see at the moment. There you go. Take it away, Easton.
So in P1 for the GP of the Austrias, we'll say, it's not quite correct, but you know what happens, is Shrimper and his Ferrari. P2 is Grunt and his Williams. P3 is Cecil Cook, who's really been in this session, qualifies P3 in the Ferrari. P4 is RSF1 Waiter and his Williams. P5 RSF1 Eitz and the McLaren. P6 Brutal Reapers and the Racing Point. P7 Breezy and the McLaren. P8 JJ Hudson 11 and the Red Bull. P9 Muddy Biscuit and the Haas, and P10 RS Moronics.
Nicely done. And here's a question for you, Easton. Formation lap.
Oh.
Would you like to have the honours, or would you like me to have the honours? It's up to you. It's in your hands.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Awesome. And then I'll do the launch. So for the new people like Goodnight JH, Air Jordan, Mikey Yates, and others, this is the transition period. So this is the moment between Q3 and the formation lap where the drivers will go over their strategies. They will be able to slightly modify their setups. They can't fully do it due to Parc Ferme being on.
I'm on the grid. What a tit. Forgot to press spectate when I was in the lobby. What a tit.
You'll have to just
I'll drive
go
round.
slow off the line. Yeah, just retire in the pits. No worries, Barry. No worries. Anyways, so as I said, this is the transition period. So this is where the drivers will go over the strategy. They can't fully do their setups because Parc Ferme has been enabled. So that means that whatever setup they put on in Q1 will stay with them to the end of the Grand Prix. Whether that's a good one or a bad one, unfortunately, they don't get that courtesy. Also, if the drivers are anticipating rain, which rain is due, they will be going over their pit strategies. So people from P11 down to last place will have the freedom of choice for tyres. The top 10 will start on the tyres that they used in Q2. So steerage, wet race halfway through. Already know that. Thank you very much, though. Will mediums make it without pitting? That's the key. Well, it all depends, because sometimes it will say halfway through, but it won't. It'll probably be like 10 minutes, and then the game will probably call in for rain. But right now, looking at the sky, and
look around,
doesn't
I can
really
see a lot of
look
guys.
like. Yeah, it doesn't really look like. It doesn't really look like it's going to rain. Yeah, I was going to say you got your own crew. I mean, you're a commentator, but you've got your own car.
I won't even bother loading this up or changing anything. I'll just go slow, but without causing a yellow flag.
Oh, looks like we're soon going to be getting the Grand Prix underway. The moment the lights go green, the formation app is when the lobby host, RSF1 waiter, readies up. So. Raikkonen, ha ha ha, Easton's done a me. Oh, bless him. You forget. That's what happens when you forget to hit the spectate sometimes.
Yeah,
Raikkonen's like, "Boo." Hey, he's mocking you, mate.
Wow.
You're an ass.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan. Least favourite car in this game.
At least you got Gunther Steiner as your, your team boss.
Good point, AJ.
So I guess I'll have to do the formation lap because you're in the car.
Well, I suppose I could still do it, but it's hard for me to tell. I need to look at the stream at the same time. Oh, grunt, rain in 15 laps. Oh. I can see Mr. One Shot's car, I can see Mr. Elemental's lap. I can see Elemental's car, I think that's K-Mag's car I can see as well.
K-Mag's getting 12 laps.
Right, okay, Lando. I'm sorry I couldn't contain it this time.
Tectra Lloyd, Easton hacks again. Knowing this game, according to Catastrophe, it'll be after the formation lap, lol.
It was Thomas.
RSF1 Source cheering on Element Snow and JJ Hudson. Mainly Element, though.
It's Mr. Wait, I forgot, it's the lobby host.
No, he might have. Or he's just quickly... Or he's just leaving an appropriate amount of time for people, but I do think that there might have been enough time now. The fact it's gone Ferrari, Williams, Ferrari, Williams, you know, like, that's mental. Like, I haven't seen that at all. At least in RSF1.
I'll quickly message him just to make sure. He's not forgotten.
There you go, you ready to do
that. Wow.
Eastern comms box to P1 and driver of the day, according to Tectra Lloyd. RSF Source I didn't know there was another Red Bull driver. Lol, sorry.
I've not even got a SafePod, so I can do the formation lap. I need to look at the streams, so it might be a bit delayed.
If it's too different, it does look like the stream. Oh, the stream's still working, but like
you do it.
obviously. Okay, so I will not be including Easton at the back of the grid because he is not taking part in the Grand Prix. was an accidental move. And it doesn't look like we're getting going.
I'm a bit stuck.
Nobody's loading. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. No one's loading. RSF1 2020, you've been so good to us. And then you do this. Why must you be broken in online lobbies? Why? Why? Nobody is loading on my end. Everyone, waiter just readied up and I don't
this game. Just in case it breaks the lobby.
Give it a minute, according to Riken. You gotta give it a minute.
Up shifting, down shifting.
It might fix itself. Steerage, postpone the race so I don't lose points. No. No.
Excellent shift.
It's like they focused on the career mode section of the game and forgot about the online bit, lol. It does actually look like it's come to that source. It does actually look like it. This is not good. Not good at all.
What?
The fact that it's just not going. Ice has said that this cookie can be put at the back of the grid, at the back if we restart. However, regardless, Cookie did set that lap.
He'll be disqualified when putting him at the back. It's a bit unfair.
I was going to say, because it's like, you know, he shouldn't have been put there in the first place. Ocon's left. Yeah, it's a lobby restart, but no, it's a lobby restart. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, please bear with us. The lobby. What's happened?
I'll take money down the inside. I'll see you later.
What? It's a flying Renault. Stidging. The bumper cars, because obviously the lobby's not happening.
Oh, actually, it's good. So much speed, you know.
Okay, so we will. Weather needs to be set the same, right? Yep, because rain was due halfway through. So,
oh, right, when there's the ice, see you later, son.
Did you take screenshots, Easton?
I mean, I can get it quickly.
If you could quickly pause it and go into the race director and get screenshots to send to the lobby host to reform the grid.
I've just my phone off the screen.
Alright, nice. Cheers, mate. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen. The race lobby will be restarted due to a fault of the game where it would not begin the Grand Prix. So, very shortly, we will be back underway with a reformed grid. And, Easton, are you still in control of your car at that moment? Have you quit?
Maybe. No. Okay, I'm going to take
Oh, you're reforming on the grid, aren't you?
Yeah.
Oh, well, no one's even in the lobby, because obviously it's being restarted, so just...
Ellen is.
I don't think Elephant's realised.
Who cares? Me and Ellen are going to win this race.
We need a little bit of entertainment while they quickly reset the lobby back up, so... Go on, go for it, Easton, go for it, while we wait for the...
Here we go. I want to stop!
Oh, here we go, down into turn one, the Williams takes the lead. But we're going to look at Easton in the back, just and there goes Element Snow, who unfortunately retired from the Grand Prix, and that's a safety goal. He just got a 5-second penalty, Easton. You crashed the same spot where Grosjean span out in the real Grand Prix. Rightio. As soon as the lobby host has got the actual lobby up and running, could you please invite myself and Easton, please?
That's fine. Do that every week.
Oh god.
If
Parry.
hilarious to watch.
Stygian doing his best MotoGP impression. Did you see that, by the way? That MotoGP rider. He crashed off his bike, and then he was rolling, and then he just managed to get back on his feet, and then, right, you know, he just shrugged it off. He's just like, yeah, I just fell off my bike, but don't bother me. I'll just walk it off.
Seriously, the shirt looks bad for me.
I need an invite from the lobby host.
I can join off someone's profile.
Let's leave this lobby because it's unfortunately this lobby is dead because of
Walking.
Are you doing a Lando? It's broken. It's broken.
I am in the lobby.
There you go.
I'll message where see if
actually, today in the Grand Prix, not just Daniel Ricciardo got a good result. Antonio Giovinazzi and Romain Grosjean. Yeah, Antonio Giovinazzi and Romain Grosjean both collected their first championship points for the season.
I know Giovinazzi got points in the first round. So this is his first point.
Despite also Grosjean's injury as well that he sustained during the race, where his hand actually got hit by gravel and it really hurt his finger. So congratulations to Romain Grosjean and Antonio Giovinazzi.
I'm going to need to quickly invite here to the parts of given the grid. So I'll unplug my audio, I'll go for the grid.
Right, so we wait for the lobby to be reformed. Grosjean had a pinky ouchie, haha. If you uninclude your audio while you reform the grid with waiter, halfway point. Apparently, the halfway point was meant to be when rain turned up. However, I don't know if it was meant to go from dry to wet to the end or dry, wet, dry. Oh yeah, don't forget to change the track as well, because we're still in Australia. So, the question is, will CCRL Cookie start? My audio is included because I'm the session. I'm not hosting the stream. But he made it into Q3, and when he shouldn't have. He should have initially be P15, but he qualified P3 in the Grand Prix, so bit of question. I think it was P3, wasn't it, Easton? So the fact is he made it into a qualifying position he wasn't actually meant to be in. For everyone new as well, apologies on the delay. The lobby will be started very soon. Again, and it won't be any qualifying because we've got screenshots of the grid as it was. So the grid will be reformed as it was at the end of Q3, and then we'd get straight to the race. But there was a slight delay. Please bear with us. Right. Is the grid fully reformed? Okay. So, anyone got any questions at all? Again, please feel free to ask. We've got a free moment. Yeah, feel free to throw some questions for myself. While Easton and Waiter, the lobby host, will soon begin to put everyone in their correct grid slots. Should I announce that for the stream? Okay. Right, so we will be soon beginning the Grand Prix. They're just going through the last checks of Luke JLP. Here's a question: why are we restarting? The reason why we are restarting is because during the transition period, everyone readied up to begin the formation lap, and everyone was stuck. They physically couldn't move. So because of that glitch, the game had to reset the lobby. Rightio, it looks like very soon we'll be beginning the Grand Prix as Waiter will soon get back into his car. So we are waiting on... I think that's everyone. As Easton did accidentally not click spectate beforehand and hit readied up when he initially joined first and accidentally got into a Haas. So at least now you can do your formation lap without a struggle there, Easton.
Love to see it.
Hey. Rightio, so any moment now, we'll be beginning the Grand Prix. Very much. Good luck, mate. Is Brutal Reapers in the
No, he's not.
party?
He just left.
I wondered why he had him in there. I was just like, hang on. Anyways,
He's
yeah, there we
just
go. We're
there
now
for
finally, we're now finally going into the Grand Prix. So, Scott, just tuning in, what's happened? We are now beginning the Grand Prix. We had to do a restart because when everyone readied up to begin the formation lap, everyone got stuck. So, yeah, we had to restart the Grand Prix. Top notch. Easton killed everyone.
What you
Easton,
mean,
care to
bro?
elaborate? What name?
When's this? Because I can do a repeat if you want to do 5 lappers afterwards.
Okay. Here we are. We're finally re-beginning the Austrian Grand Prix after a bit of a wait. Finally get back to it. Just a few minutes before we re-begin due to the restart. We got to make sure the appropriate cars had gone on their correct tyres. So I think only 3 medium runners made it into the top 10. So I know both the Williams did. Moronics did.
Was that?
I remember who.
I was 8 and the 2 Williams that qualified on the
And
left.
Moronics, wasn't it?
No, Moronics went in softs.
Oh, okay. Have you re-included your audio, by the way?
Yes, I have. So
Okay,
if you
good,
can
good.
hear me. Okay, I'm going to get it.
Here we go, and it looks a little bit more cloudy now. Well,
Yeah.
actually, it looks a little bit more darker. Not cloud, but more
I'll be back a
the time of
second.
the day. Okay. Here we go, and as you can see, the numbers are rising back up. So thank you everyone for being patient with us. There should be no more restarts. Now this should be it for the race start. So momentarily, we will get underway. The drivers just have got the courtesy of putting on their correct tyre compound. Oh, Yeah, putting on the correct tyre compound. And so Ice is on the correct tyre. Grunt is on the correct tyre. Waiter is still yet to get onto his mediums. And the cars from P11 down to last place have got the freedom of choice for their tyres.
I am back.
Welcome back.
Oof. So we wait until the people ready to talk.
Yep. Unfortunately, we did lose a few numbers because I think some people were looking forward to a race start and didn't happen because of the lobby dying.
I blame Ellen. Yeah, he is.
Element's fault, just because. So, yeah. Just gotta wait on Waiter, and then we can get
ironic
rolling onto the grid.
We gotta wait on Waiter.
Oh, wait. Can I have the bill, please? Yeah, just a small little wait now.
Mr. Rhea.
Yay, there we go.
I'm just checking everyone's on the right tyres.
Rightio, Easton. 10
Yes.
seconds to go, and it's now your time to shine for the formation lap.
It will need to be a quicker one than usual. Ow, okay, for that can not say then. Okay, so in P17 we have the red elemental 7 on banana tyres. In P16 we have Ripplin X1 shot the tracing point on banana tyres. P15 RSF1 K-Mag in the banana car on banana tyres is a banana helmet. Oh no. P14 is RSF1 Orcon and AlphaTauri on the strawberry tyres. RSF1 Notch and P13 on banana tyres in the Alpha. P12 is Stygian in the Renault on banana tyres. Is that a banana helmet? Don't think so. P11 XFR Peanut and Alfa Romeo on banana tyres. P10 Lucky 1210 and AlphaTauri on the Multigrade tyres. Only ones are on them. And the top 10 from qualifying is
Multigrade.
And 9th, RS Roddick driving for Mercedes team in P9. P8 is Muddy Biscuit, 148 in the Haas on strawberry tyres. P7, JJ Hudson 11 in the Red Bull on strawberry tyres. P6 is Breezy 7272 in the Tangerine car on strawberry tyres in P6. P5 is Brutal Reapers in the Tracing Point on strawberry tyres. P4 is RSF1 8s in the Tangerine car on banana tyres. And in the top 3, RSF1 Waiter and the Williams on the strawberry tyres. P2, Grunty and the other Williams on medium tyres. Is Waiter on the wrong tyres? I think it is. And then Trimper 84 in the strawberry car, strawberry tyres. Is that strawberry helmet? I think it is. We've got a full shebang there.
I noticed Waiter is actually on the incorrect starting compound. He qualified in Q2 on the medium tyre, and RSF1 Waiter is on the soft compound tyre. Here we go though, it's 5 red lights for the Australian Grand Prix. and it's lights down. The way we go. Shrimper gets a little bit of a good start going off the line, but he's got a Williams now trying to make a peek down the inside. However, Waiter's now being taken by the McLaren of Ice going into turn 1. We got a spinning McLaren because he made contact in the back of the car of Williams. He's going down the grid. It goes Shrimper front. Waiter, Breezy, Brutal Reapers moves off to 5th. Muddy Biscuit 6th. Ice 7th. JJ Hutton 8th. Peanut 9th. Moronex 10th. Lukey 11th. Top Notch is now going down the grid. Large clump up in the mid sector. Oh God. Oh my God. There's a battle between the Renault and Ocon. Oh, Ocon's made contact. He's shoved his way in to hit the Ferrari. No, the Williams. Not Renault. Renault.
He's got it, fair play.
Stidgen did get that position back, so that was nicely done by Stidgen. Meanwhile, Brutal Reapers is on the back of Muddy Biscuit, and he's looking to get this position made. Is Waiter retiring?
Or just switching straight off those softs. It might be switching straight off those softs.
Isn't there a bug sometimes where you can't change your tyres at all?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he's gone straight onto the medium tyre.
Jason Hamilton's message Shane, RSF1 Shane 0407 on Xbox to join.
Who's that to?
JSR Hamilton.
Oh.
Here comes the Elemental one on Elliot. He's doing a bit of leading.
I can't see any of the deltas because of the game.
We're back.
Well, yeah. It'll be good to have you, GSR Hamilton. Mighty Gift, Biscuit, and Brutal Reapers are fighting it out again. Breezy, actually. Breezy's now trying to make the move into the second to last corner of Catastrophe in the Williams.
Oh, he's going to get him here.
Oh, bit of the tail end of the car there, getting a bit squirrely.
Shrimpers said to go, bye, have a good time.
Bye, have a good time. There you go, DRS is enabled. And Breezy sails past Catastrophe. But Catastrophe is trying to keep to the back of the McLaren and maybe try and make a move going back into turn 3. But he has not got that ability to do so. Meanwhile, Catastrophe does get the DRS on Breezy. But
here comes
not quite close enough.
So
Lukey's actually on the hard compound tyre.
Is he thinking outside the box?
Well, technically, before he got eliminated in the lobby before it got restarted, he qualified 10th. Ocon has received his first penalty.
And the penultimate corner, he's going to go down the inside. There's contact on. Stidgen's held it, fair play.
And Ocon conceded the position, but very nasty struggles there. So, Brutal Reapers, DRS is now enabled, moving up into turn 2. Around the outside, the Racing Point's going to send it around the outside, and Muddy Biscuit tries to cover him off on the inside, but it looks like he gets a better traction coming out turn 3. Brutal Reapers up into 5th place.
Oh, someone's going around to, I think it's Ocon.
Oh no, it's Stidgen.
And Ocon's made contact, Element's got involved in it again. Element's just been so unlucky with the first laps.
And looks like we've got Racing Point debris as well. This looks like Ripping One Shot has been hit.
It came out fine because he was in that amongst that pack as well. Yeah, it came out fine, luckily. Oh, look how dark it's just got, wow.
I know, the clouds are setting in, but the thing is this the rain going to last to the end? Cool, look at that, look how much darker, yeah, because I just switched to Catastrophe. It's now gone grey. And Catastrophe is actually fighting for 2nd place for the moment, but he just lost DRS range as he got through turn 1, and Ice is now going to get a little bit of this action, because Catastrophe is a sitting duck.
Here comes Ronick and his former teammate notched in the inside. Thinks better of it.
Down the end of the straight. Heights can't just make the move yet, but this is interesting. So we've got to see what what's going to happen once that rain comes out. Element Snow does pit onto new soft tyres. I don't think he sees the point in putting on any other tyre due to the fact that rain is coming soon. Soft tyre runners though, because they'll be restart, have fresh softs which could play beautifully for them.
Yeah, so Chemper's pulled about 1.5 second lead on Breezy, with Grunt and Eights falling closer behind him, followed by Brewery. Oh, we've got a bit of a DRS thing, you know.
They do. Going to turn 1. Moronix gets the DRS on Top Notch. Top Notch, how can he respond? He tries to break the slipstream while moving to the left side of the track, but Moronix remains unfazed going into turn 3. Half a second separates the drivers in 10th and 9th place. Meanwhile, Moronix is slightly pulling away now from Lukey, so Lukey has no way of making his way to these point-scoring positions. Meanwhile, on board of Brutal Reapers, who's now on the gearbox of RSF1 Ice's McLaren. Remember, it's 5-lap-old softs versus 5-lap-old mediums. I think still at the moment, in terms of...
Oh, he's cut the grass.
He cut the grass, yeah. He's trying to turn his car into a lawnmower. But it was a good save regardless, because that could have ended very badly, but good recovery. Now XFR Peanut joins the penalty club.
As well gets another one.
I think definitely won't be seeing Muddy Biscuit. It's raining? Yep, yeah. There's rain going down the halos.
Oh,
Element Snow, 3-second side penalty.
50 me around the back McLaren, a bit of a kiss. And here he comes, he's got a better run on those soft tyres, he's going to look. Down the inside, turn 3, oh, great defending there from Eights.
Late braking, the McLaren forces him wide.
We don't need...
Oh my god. And then goes side by side into the 2 left-handers. And he does it.
Fair play.
Fair play to that racing point. But that was very close action there. Now the question, will it switch to intermediate conditions? Because we've had races in the past where it rains, but it's not that bad enough to warrant intermediate tyres. It's still slick conditions.
Yeah, sort of just like, I'm just stuck in the DRS, trying to let it with Breezy at the front of it.
Well, don't rule out Ice, because he was only 0.4 of a second behind Brutal Reapers, so he might be able to retake his position. No, not quite yet. Stygian, however, turn 1. Stygian on Ripon 1 shot. Stygian's much, much closer. Moves in the inside line. Ripon tries to cover him off. It looks like just for the moment, Ripon 1 shot holds on to 13th position. Lap 12 to 14 apparently is when they're estimating that it will switch to intermediate conditions.
It's coming down heavier than I expected, to be honest with you. Because I feel like at Halo closer, it's like there's a lot of drops now, it's starting to land on the camera a bit as well. And now the track looks like it's getting a bit greasy now as well. Oh, someone's out, an AlphaTauri looks off to Narnia.
Oh my god!
He's came back on track safely as well, that's good.
What happened to Lukey?
I think he's just put the power down too early and slid off the... track, I think. As it's getting pretty greasy. Yeah, look at the halo of elements.
Yeah.
It could be out very soon.
Like, there's steady drops on the car, like standing water. So you can tell it's getting really bad. Lukey's going on to the inters.
He's getting no other
Lukey's taking that gamble. If this works out in Lukey's favour, and it soon disables DRS, Lukey might have made the right call, but
Breezy
we have
dives
to wait
in.
and see. Breezy's going in, yep, and so does Brutal. Catastrophe, 3-second time penalty.
Have they called this right? Yeah, a lot of people are diving in.
Shrimper, the race leader, is staying out.
Enters from Moronic.
Yeah.
No, Breezy. Yeah, they're all slapping
there you
us.
go.
Enters. Someone's went round. It's Alcon, it's winning round.
It's an AlphaTauri. It's hard to say what is happening. It's still too early. The game has not turned off the DRS. While the DRS is still on, it's still dry tyre conditions.
Yeah, it's
difficult,
too
but it's difficult, but it's not quite that time yet. I feel sorry for Shrimper though, because he's heavily underfueled his car, and the rain tends to drink the hell out of your fuel. Underfueling might have bitten him in the back.
Yeah, well, yeah, there's a lot of people in. It's far too early, as Steve said in the chat. When enters, drugs all over the shop.
Maybe all over the shop, but it's not bad enough yet to warrant inters.
Yeah, here comes Notch. Ronix is still out. K-Mag's dived in.
Yeah, they're slapping on those inters. They feel it's time. I think a load of people made the correct assumption that it's going to be lap 12 is where we're probably going to get the warning. It's either going to be any time between now and lap 12. Where the game will notify. Oh! McLaren in the wall!
Here comes Muddy. Muddy gets past.
Muddy
Is he going to go for the one?
Oh my god, they're all struggling. Oh, Muddy Biscuit. Well, yeah, the softs have probably fallen off anyways, but wet conditions plus worn softs, it's not a nice duo. There's DRS disabled.
Shrimper's diving in. Hudson's just got past. He's really struggling now. It's time that they're all going to fly.
And that's good for JJ. What's happened?
He's just had a mad drift into the pit lane. Hudson's almost at the back of Muddy into the pit lane as well. What can Breezy do from this?
Well, Breezy will definitely take the lead by the looks of it. Moronic receives a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane, and Breezy goes round the last corner. Some cars are now finally leaving the pits.
It wouldn't get Shrimper,
Will Shrimper keep the lead?
It wouldn't get Shrimper, but it'll keep second.
And maybe Breezy makes a jump and a half.
I think it was a couple laps too early.
Definitely a couple laps too early, especially for the AlphaTauri.
We pitted last
called
lap.
them way too soon. Rippin one-shots has put on fresh softs. No, sorry. No, he's going in now. I thought he put on those softs just now, and I was just like, what is going on here?
So
but now what would really make things interesting would be a safety car, but currently right now the pack is still quite split, and at the moment no retirements from the Grand Prix. There has been contact, but no retirements, so that's what we like to see. But now these intermediate conditions can really change up the Grand Prix from this moment on, as Shrimper currently leads the Grand Prix from Breezy, Catastrophe, Muddy Biscuit 4th, JJ Hudson 5th, Brutal Reaper 6th, Ike 7th, Top Notch 8th, Peanut 9th, K-Mag 10th. It looks like Top Notch is actually making the move on ice. It looks like just in the second to last corner.
He's struggling with catching Top Notch. 8 says.
Apparently the DRS, the pit window is now open for intermediate tyres. But everyone's already, that ship's already sailed.
Yeah.
But no DRS now. DRS will be re-enabled once the conditions become more dry again. Waiter receive a 3-second time penalty for receiving multiple warnings on exceeding track limits and cutting corners.
How'd you get 14k channel points there?
Actually, I'd like to say thank you to everyone supporting Twitch, because just going on now, we have 509 followers. So I'd like to say thank you very much for over 500 followers, as RSF1 is a year old now. It turned 1 year old back in July. So thank you very much, everyone, for staying with us. 500 followers is really, really good. And let's keep growing from here.
Yeah. Seems like Shrimp was a big fan of these conditions because he's pulled a bit of a gap on Breezy.
Yeah, Shrimper seems pretty happy where he is. Meanwhile, Stygian is being pressured by Waiter. Catastrophe is actually doing really good in keeping with Breezy. But with no DRS, it's more of just a battle of control, whether people can keep their car on the track in these conditions. The worst part is we don't even know if it's going to get worse or if it's going to be just intermediate conditions.
So much. I don't think it'll be full wets, as it's supposed to go back to dry at some point in the race.
Definitely not full wet conditions. Source, definitely not full wets. Oh, careful on the curb, lads. Yeah, I was going to say, it's now gone a little bit quiet as gaps have opened.
Yeah, especially because there's no DRS. The DRS trains are just stuck, but with no DRS really. Let's have the best in the conditions. They're going to thrive at the minute.
The new gamer question, if anyone know. What's your question? We'll try and answer it. Can I get in if I'm 14? As long as you own a copy of F1 2020 and you are able to contact the committee through the Nightbot. There's a link there to RacingSeriesF1.com. You can apply. Easton's our youngest member at the moment.
It's double actually now. Stitches like a willow.
Sorry?
It's RSF1 double. It's the youngest now.
Yeah, the new gaming. You are allowed to join RSF1 if you like.
Also, once you do sign up on the website, message RSF1 Channel 407 on the Xbox as well, and he can get you all sorted out.
Oh, battle between Ocon and ripping one shot there in the mid sector, and next thing I see is one shot just rallying on the grass. Contact there between Rip and One Shot. Oh, Rip and One Shot saves it. The car is hurting. Breezy killed his inters, pushing too hard to keep second when it wasn't wet enough.
Probably Connor.
According to Connor Todd.
I believe he's the race engineer of Mr. Grunt tonight. Yes.
Battle between Stygian and Waiter. Stygian got overtaken. Waiter moves up to 12th place. And next car in his crosshairs, which is a good little bit up the road, is Moronics.
Grunt is really putting Breeze under pressure here.
Looks like the spray and rain is getting a tad heavy.
Yeah, I think it'll just stay these kind of conditions.
Like, it's heavy enough to see the tyre treads of the tyre tracks of the car in front.
Breezy's got a huge train behind him at the minute.
Looks like in terms of speed, Breezy's much faster.
All I'm saying is, the McLaren's got a sandwich of ones. It's a McLaren, it's a Williams, Haas, Red Bull, Racing Point, and Alfa Romeo sandwich with the McLaren's red. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Too many
felons. Yeah.
Way too much. But Catastrophe is keeping Breezy honest and applying that pressure. Good work from Mo. I haven't seen anything about him in terms of penalties.
Yeah, Muddy's always been good for penalties.
Even in like the worst of tracks, always comes out clean.
Oh, in the background, here comes Icy Match. I think it's better because he has no ERS.
Oh, he's quite close. Oh. ABR.
Here comes Ice getting down the inside of turn 3, thinks. Can get close enough, a little tap there for good measure. They're swimming over the power.
Top Notch concedes. The McLaren tries to get a little dart down the inside, but there's just not enough room. The McLaren has to concede for a moment. Meanwhile, K-Mag is actually pressuring the back of XFR Peanut. No, you're not going to do it here, are you? Oh, Ice is wanting to get past this guy. Top Notch is holding him up.
Still message RSF1 channel 407 on Xbox as well, as long as signing up for the website. Will be very close to the back of JJ Hudson here. We can't get close enough.
Is he going to try and send it? JJ Hudson tries to cover off the inside. Late braking from the racing point. Down the inside he goes. He comes. Jumps the corner. I'm muddling up my words. Jumps the corner. Jumps is not even a word. I guess it's a mixture of jump and clump. But anyways, Rachel tried to go in the corner, jumps the inside, and has to concede the position because I think the game might have labelled that as an illegal overtake.
Well, Shrimper's checked out the front. That's all I know.
Yeah, Shrimper is on his way.
Okay, Mike and Peanut. Oh, there's fighting for the corner into the last. We've kept it side by side, fair play, boys. And now it looks like K-Mag's just going to head in front. Oh no, Peanut's coming back out.
Peanut's sticking it in the inside.
They're still side by side.
Look at the respect. Clean, respectable racing. You have to hand it to these two. That could have gone very badly in the corners they chose to battle on. And they kept it side by side and gave a good show. So well done to the pair of them.
Yeah,
meanwhile, Ice is
respectful racing.
Ice is on the gearbox of Top Notch. Lukey collects another 3-second time penalty.
There comes Ocon, Mr. One Shot.
And down the straight. Oh, Ocon's going to try and send it down the inside. Ripping One Shot tries to cover him off. Oh, they touch wheels. Oh, a little bit of shoving there. That's some argy-bargy. But look at the battery compared to each other. Like, Ocon's got way much more battery than Rippin does. Oh, but Rippin One Shots, he's got him on the back. There's a little wiggle there from Ocon.
Oh! He's not going at it again.
Oh, they touch! Oh, Ocon's gone! Ocon's spun!
Oh no! Ocon's round, fat F. They're still these two. Ace will have it now.
looks like Ice just holds on to P7, and Top Notch will go back to P8. Oh, Ocon's had a little bit of trouble in the pit lane. I think their inters is falling off. I don't know how long the inters last. No, Ocon just retired.
Breezy's in the pit. What's he doing? What's he doing? Oh, what's Breezy doing?
Why did Breezy need to pit?
Has he killed his inters that much? Yeah, he must have killed his inters that much.
And that's going to cost him dearly.
Hey,
and now Lao's going to catastrophe now. Ice is going to do it. He's going to send it. Down the inside. Like Brutal Reapers to hold on. And down the end of the straight, Brutal Reapers is doing his all to keep Ice there. Going down the end. Unfortunately, because of how much strain that Brutal is putting on the car to try and get back onto RSF1 Ice. Brutal Reapers falls down to 6th place. Ice, a very good move up into 5th, and now has JJ Hudson next in his crosshairs.
I think 8's has found his mojo in these conditions now. Doesn't make a couple. That's him made 2 overtakes in the past 3 laps. So it seems like he's found his mojo now.
A good time when he found it, and the best part is his Shrimp has still got a lot more to give. Brutal Reapers is now pitted. He's putting on more intermediate tyres.
Brutal Reapers is in. We will come up relative. Oh, Breeze is very far ahead.
Let's go on board with the race leader in the Ferrari. I think Shrimper hasn't actually won a Grand Prix since the opener in Australia.
Oof, that's been a long time then.
So it'll be a good day for Shrimper to go back onto the top step of the podium. But at the moment, though, it's still 13 laps to go for the Grand Prix. It's reasonably quiet on the track in terms of battles. And Shrimper holds the lead for the moment. But as I said, he needs to keep on preserving his fuel. And while he's got a really nice gap now between himself and the car behind, I would start fuel saving.
Right, Suzanne.
Otherwise he might run out.
What's up?
So that's Ice now choosing to come into the pits. I don't think Shrimper's tyres have fallen off that much because of the fact that he's all in the clear. Wait, has Ice got a wing change? No, he doesn't. What's the fastest lap right now?
It's a 1 minute 6.634 by Breezy.
So Breezy can actually get that point.
It's going to go look in the side of turn 2.
They both got fresh intermediates.
He's just got the bit
he just mucked up on a little bit of gearing there, but
yes, Noob Gamer.
A 106 Noob Gamer because it was dry conditions previously. Top Notch has received a 3-second time penalty. Meanwhile, Brutal Reapers is sticking on to the back of Ice. Stygian receives a penalty. No one else has pitted yet, or no one else has tried to pit. When does this rain end? That's the big question.
If it does end.
Yeah, that's if it does, but it looks like it's slightly calmed down. The spray doesn't look so intense anymore. The end of the straight. Top Notch. Under pressure by K-Mag.
Oof.
Currently, as it stands at the moment, we've currently got one retirement, and that is RSF1 Ocon. Yeah, it's a bit quiet now, isn't it, East? Because some people are in battles, like K-Mag, on the back of Top Notch, but other than that, it's been a pretty calm and quiet Grand Prix. And it looks like Peanut now finally pits. And K-Mag gonna dart down the inside on Top Notch. Oh, a little bit of argy-bargy again, side by side, going down the straight. It's hard to tell who's going to get what here. And Top Notch is keeping himself there. Oh, Top Notch! He might have just caught a little bit of curve there, but a good save. That could have been catastrophic for him. You know, no points at all. But Top Notch held it, so well done to Top Notch. Now it's calm.
Yeah.
Back to some quietness, which is kind of weird when you expected more from wet weather racing.
It's just because of the rain, yeah, and Austria's one of the easier. It's going to be easier for them.
Oh, looks like Top Notch. Top Notch is going back around because he's suddenly cut the gap back down. And he's got really, really close to K-Mag there going into turn 1. And if he can get a really good run out of turn 3, he can get even closer to the Renault driver. The sprays are starting to really go now, I think. Near the end of the race, I think maybe lap 33, maybe lap 32, we might see the transition from intermediate conditions to dry. Because you can see a dry line now forming on the track.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit tight because there's definitely a calm down. So as Shrimp or Grunt and all that are going to hang out.
They could, however, risk getting a puncture. That's the only reason why they could stay out that long. But they have nothing to lose in that regard, because everyone else has pitted onto fresh intermediates, but once it gets to more drier conditions... Yeah. I think I called it right. Any moment now.
Look at the dry line now, damn. Someone's went wrong.
No, I think he might have fallen off the track. And Stygian, what's Stygian doing? Soft tyre for Stygian. I think that's way too soon. Early.
Oh,
Peanut!
Peanut's went flying off the track. He's lost the exit, come on. Will that be a safety car? If you look on the right hand side, yeah, his car.
No, he's too much out of the way for it to be a safety car. The question is has Stygian made the right call?
It's still far too early, because never mind. We'll struggle for these first couple. Oh, it still looks a bit too wet at the minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still far too wet.
Bit of a bad call there from Stygian, Lukey and Rippin one shot onto soft compound tyres. I think Shrimper, Grunt and Muddy Biscuit have played it beautifully. But the fact is they've hung out these intermediates for as long as they physically can. But soon we're going to see the transition to dry. Any moment now. This is going to be a close finish. It was really weird to see how so close it went from being...
Look, he's sliding all about the shop. It's still a bit too early.
I think next lap we're going to see DRS enabled.
Because
look at the track now. The track is dry now.
Yeah, but it's still like greasy. But oh no, the run's pitting too
No!
early.
Catastrophe and JJ Hudson. Look at the spray coming off their wheels still. That's way too soon to tell.
Yeah, it's still too early. They're all sliding about the shop still.
Shrimp is still struggling though. It's how long he's been on those intermediates.
Let's have a look at Grunt. There's 8.
Oh, nasty lock up from Shrimper. How does Grunt look though? That's the question. Going into turn 3. Too soon. Too soon still. That could be detrimental to the lot that just pitted, and this could be beautifully played for the people that's still out on intermediate tyres. Shrimper, the race leader's now choosing the go in. I think his tyres are that worn.
Yeah, Muddy also
Muddy Biscuit. K-Mag?
Yeah, I think they're all just going to dive in now. Since that's now happened, I'll look at the penalties since it's 5 laps away to the end.
Yeah, go for it.
So Shrimper has 1-1. Muddy Biscuit has... No, I'll wait until after they're all sorted out in the position so it doesn't mix up.
Yeah.
So wait until they're all
DRS enabled. Shrimper played that beautifully.
Grunt's been jumped by Muddy.
Yeah. But Grunt's not too far off behind. Wait, what?
Ran the back of Ripple X1 shot and major wing damage.
Moronics, another 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane.
No.
Oh my god, what was that?
Notch. Notch. Notch.
Top Notch has received a drive-through penalty, but it doesn't matter because he just left the game. But he just
I can't believe
drove straight into the back of Brutal Reapers there. That. Oh my god. That was not warranted. If he wasn't happy about an incident, he could have that dealt with at the end of the race, but...
That's just out of order.
That was, because the Estelle's contact between himself and Brutal Reaper, and Rip in one shot, but that was... Not deemed necessary. Anyways, moving on. Going back onto the Grand Prix. Actually, could you go back over the penalties now that that's sorted? Because
it's just out of order. That's all we're going to see of it. So,
Moronics just crashed.
In what sense? Did he just lose it?
Mid-sector, yeah.
Oh.
In the wall.
So, Trentpar has 1 warning. Muddy Biscuit has 1 warning. Grunt has a penalty and a warning. K-Mag has a penalty and a warning. JJ Hudson has 2 warnings. Breezy has a penalty and a warning. RSF1 has 2 warnings. Brutal Reapers has 1, 2, 3, 4 penalties and 2 warnings. Later has 1, 2, 3 penalties and 2 warnings. Stygian has 4 penalties. Notch has 5 penalties. Element has 2 penalties. Licky has 2 penalties and 2 warnings, and that's it.
Brutal Reapers has just collected his 5th penalty just as he was as he passed him at that moment. And JJ Hudson and RSF1 K-Mag are battling it out really hard now on these last few laps of the Grand Prix. So now if any incidents happen, such as massive crash and the cars are even blocking the grid, sorry, not grid, the track, it will not be deemed a safety car area now. The safety car will no longer come back out. After that crash between Top Notch and Rip in one shot, it brought out a virtual safety car. And it looks like Catastrophe is going to make the move for 2nd place. Going down to turn 3. There's the AI of Top Notch. And is it going to be detrimental to the pair of them? It might have, because Top Notch's AI just seemed to have been in the way for Muddy Biscuit. And that's also not good for Top Notch, because he just left his car out to just drive on its own.
Yeah, it's just... Oh, Hudson and K-Mag down the inside of turn 3, they're still side by side. It's a great battle in there. Hudson's up on the P4. If he can get close enough to Grunt, who has, I believe, almost has a penalty and 2 warnings, Hudson doesn't have a penalty yet. If Grunt gets another one.
Look how clear it is now, by the way.
Like,
the sunshine's coming out. There's a back marker of Top Notch's abandoned AI. K-Mag, DRS is enabled. Oh, tries to get a little switchback, tries to send it down the inside, but then switchbacks to the outside. But it doesn't look like it kind of worked there. But it looks like they both got pretty good traction coming out of turn 3, side by side. However, K-Mag does get the DRS assistance. And the Red Bull is not close enough to retaliate and make the move. Meanwhile, Breezy and Ice, I think that's team orders going into play there. No, they're battling.
Fair play.
Risky move there by the McLaren team. Side by side goes the McLarens. In this moment, it could be good or
Is this
bad.
Landon Norris and Carlos Sainz by any chance?
So close. I mean, it's a good show, but obviously you're cringing for the team because if they hit each other, that's a collision within teammates.
Okay, might get past Hudson, I just realised that.
Yeah. K-Mag managed to hold off JJ Hudson as he got past him because JJ tried to get a little look on the back of him, but yeah. Anyways, it's a final lap of the Grand Prix. Muddy Biscuit has now got pressure being applied by Catastrophe. JJ Hudson is also applying pressure to K-Mag for the battle for 4th place, but this is the battle for 2nd place. Can Catastrophe keep with Muddy Biscuit? But Muddy Biscuit has been driving a clean Grand Prix.
Jump on board the Shimper.
And
oh no,
as
the
the
McLarens have made contact, I think.
Oh no, you're joking. Not what they need, but Shrimper has gone round the last corner. He hasn't won a race since Australia. He claims his 2nd Grand Prix victory, and Shrimper claims the Austrian Grand Prix, and congratulations to the Ferrari team. After running with only 1 car, Shrimper manages to take the win. Muddy Biscuit, a nice 2nd place. Catastrophe 3rd. JJ Hudson 4th. K-Mag 5th. Brutal Reapers is now fighting for 6th place after the McLarens had hit each other and ruined each other's chances of a potential maximum point scoring 6th and 7th. Brutal Reapers up into 7th place. Breezy now jumps to 6th because Brutal Reapers penalties. Waiter is in 8th place. Crosses the line. 8th place. Ice goes around the last corner with that damage. Jumps up into 7th place ahead of Brutal Reapers and Waiter. Even better for them if they didn't make contact. Stygian. And that has been the Austrian Grand Prix, and that has had its fair share of drama and action. If you guys want to vote for your driver of the day, because right now the game says it's K-Mag, which means he'll be an applicant for the vote. If you guys will want to vote for your driver of the day, please go to our Twitter, which is Racing Series F1, and a poll will shortly be opened for you to Yeah, the poll will be opened soon for you to vote for your chosen driver of the day. But commanding race there by Stygian and a well-earned win. While Easton tries to get the guys in, I will go over the standings for the race. So taking the win today in the Grand Prix from start to finish, Shrimper takes first place, Muddy Biscuit very good 8th to 2nd and takes 2nd place. Grantashafy loses 1 position but he still finishes in the podium positions. JJ Hudson 4th, K-Mag 5th, Breezy 6th and Ice 7th for very good positions there for the pair of them, even though they both hit each other near the end of the race. Brutal Reaper 8th, Waiter 9th, Stygian 10th, Element Snow 11th, Lukey 12th, Top Notch 13th, Moronix 14th, Rippin' One Shot 15th, Peanuts 16th, and Ocon completes the grid in last place. So hello everyone, welcome to the virtual comms box. Please make sure that you've included your audio. Easton, I'll do 3rd, you do 2nd, I'll do 1st.
Yeah, that's cool.
Which that is Grantashafy, are you in the party? Awesome. Right, well. Okay. Okay, Grant. It's been a bit of a mixed Grand Prix, to be fair, because the qualifying seemed pretty close between yourselves, of you and Waiter, against the Ferraris. Unfortunately, you couldn't get more points out of the race today because, unfortunately, it looks like the game might have screwed over Waiter there as he tried to put on his mediums. And as soon as he finished lap 1, he immediately put on the medium tyres that he was meant to be on. Don't know if that was the case, he just forgot, but you got a nice P3. The Ferraris just had been that little bit more up on you guys, but are you still feeling satisfied with a nice P3?
Yeah, man, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed that race, to be honest with you. Obviously, different conditions. I thought I was going to be terrible in the wet, but actually it was alright. I just had Muddy Biscuit behind me for just so long, just pressuring, and then obviously I had Breezy in front. I just could not get past him. We obviously in the wet you do the same thing. You don't use anything in the corners, you use everything in the straight, and you have enough ERS normally to kind of, you save enough in the corners to be able to use it all. So it was one of the races where you just stuck, and I was stuck just forever behind other drivers. But no, I'm happy to come out with P3. Obviously, I've had a bit of a bad streak recently, so it's good to be finally back in the top 3, which is quite nice. To say I did no practice as well, so it was quite nice to be here.
The rain did make it a little bit more difficult though, because a load of people, including yourself, might have put the tyres on at like 1 lap early, but fortunately it didn't look like you lost that much pace. Like your pace seemed pretty good though. Like maybe say you may have lost like a couple of seconds off the pace while you were still struggling on those softs. But then the moment the DRS re-enabled, you only just missed out to Muddy. But the fact is you battled really well. You made up the positions. You kept the pressure on Muddy to the end, and a nicely earned P3, mate. So well done. And the question is now, Britain. How are you looking forward to Britain then?
I don't know, to be honest with you, mate. I don't really know. I was quite happy with it in the social races, but obviously that feels like a decade ago now. We'll see. I guess you'll find out next week, because I have no idea either. It'll be a surprise for all of us.
Well, congratulations on your P3, mate. And I'll now pass over to Easton, who will interview Muddy Biscuit in 2nd place.
So, Muddy Biscuit, I believe you were here in Canada. You got the podium in Canada as well.
Yes, I did. Yeah, I won in Canada.
Love to hear it. So, Austria was a bit of an up and down race. I believe you started 8th, I believe, as you validated your last quali run, and then you moved on to race. Showed very good race pace. Again, no penalties whatsoever. Proves how good of a driver you are with keeping your warnings down. So just run us through your race.
Yeah, qualifying wasn't so great for me. I didn't really. My best lap was a lap that got invalidated, so probably could have gained maybe 1 or 2 more positions. But starting 8th, I got up to 6th after about a lap or 2. and then slowly got through a few drivers, and I think after we pitted for Inters, I was in 4th, and it was just a matter of staying with Grunt and Breezy to keep as close to 7 as possible, because I knew how tricky it was to overtake in the wet, so it was a matter of just sticking with them, and then luckily I pitted, I think, the best lap back onto dries, which allowed me to jump Grunt to Astrophy, and got me to P2.
Yeah, that was a good result from you. So moving on to Britain next week, how do you feel like that's going to go if you've actually done Britain?
In the last game I didn't really like Britain, but I think I had a decent run in the practice race pre-season, so hopefully that pace can carry over to next week.
Yeah, we'll hope. Well, I probably won't be here next week, but you never know. So, well, I'll probably be sitting watching you, so I wish you the best of luck for that.
Thank you.
So, Promise, you want to take it away with the race winner?
Rightio, Stygian. I think it's correct to say you haven't stood on the top step of this podium since Australia.
I don't know. I'm not Stygian.
No, Stygian. Shrimper! Why did I say Stygian? Oh my bloody god. Shrimper! You haven't been on this podium since Australia, correct?
No, I won China.
Oh yeah, I wasn't there for China. So it's your 3rd win then of the season. The fact is, it's pretty good to see a Ferrari on the top step. You know, brings you back to the old days of the Schumacher domination.
Yeah, I'm glad to see it as well.
Ferrari on top. You dominated from the whole way through qualifying. You had some really good pace. Obviously, Ferrari could have probably maximised its point yield today if Cookie didn't do. Cookie would have let himself be eliminated in Q2. But anyways, you managed to score yourself a good 25 points. Sorry. You've maximised what you can do for the moment. However, you didn't get the fastest lap. I think Breezy still managed to secure that. But still, congratulations on your win, mate. But run us through how your race has been.
Oh, it was... The setup was absolutely on point, and when the rain came, I just had pace. I had great pace in the rain. I was just watching the gap behind it was just slowly increasing, and then we had that last few laps sprint at the end, and I just kept it there. I'm really happy with my pace in that race. I was surprised to get pole, to be honest with you. I was expecting a few other people to be possibly in at the really low 3s, maybe even the high 2s, but maybe everything went my way. I pitted at the right time and got the win. It certainly helps my championship.
Yeah, I was going to say, I have to give you massive credit for your pit stop call. The moment you get your tyres on and you're just about to cross the pit exit line, DRS gets re-enabled, and I'm just like, he couldn't have timed it any better. And everyone else was like, for a good lap or so, was struggling like hell to even get round corners because it was still too wet for them. But you made that move, you made those calls very well. Your strategy was on point. Your setup was also very good. So congratulations on that win, mate. A very, very nicely earned P1. And now the question for you as well, Shrimper, Britain. So Britain's round the corner. Are you feeling confident for that, or?
Yeah, pretty confident. I mean, it was a while ago now, but I won the pre-season social there in the McLaren. But I think I've got some reasonably decent pace there. So
I think I was actually in that pre-season testing. I think I might have actually been in that same lobby as you. I think I remember I hopped into a Ferrari, and I think I was actually in that lobby of you back in the day in the pre-season testing. Yeah,
I mean it's going to be tough because there's plenty of quick people here. Depends whether his steerage gets back or not, and it's not going to be easy. But I'm looking forward to it.
Well, enjoy this one, mate, because obviously while steerage is away, you've managed to capitalise on his absence and maximise your point yield. But yeah, that has been the 10th round of the F2 division if you'd like to see more F2 action, please tune in next week at 8 PM on Sunday when we'll be going round the British Grand Prix circuit of Silverstone. If you want to see more Austrian Grand Prix action, however, please tune in tomorrow at 8 PM for F3. And I'd like to say thank you very much, Easton, for stepping in today in place of Vettel. It was refreshing to have it was refreshing to have a little bit of change. However, it was a shame about Vettel having a bit of mic trouble, but yeah, we managed to keep it fun,
Just a shame I couldn't get to race.
Yeah, because you accidentally forgot to hit spectate, you muppet.
Wow.
Oh, I'm messing, mate. But yeah, seriously, well done to all the lads in F2. Very good racing. There was a couple of issues, but obviously that's going to be dealt with after the race. But anyways, to go over the classification again for the top three, in third place, it was Catastrophe in the Williams. Very good third place from him. Second place, Muddy Biscuit. Muddy Biscuit's getting consistent podiums now, so it might be a possible championship battle for him if he keeps his consistency going. And Shrimper, for the third time in the F2 division, takes the win in the Ferrari. And yeah, thank you very much, everyone, and we'll see you in the next one. In the meantime, please take care, stay safe, and please remember, if you're going out in public, in any public spaces, please do wear face coverings. If you are exempt, then please make sure that you make that known to any law official or whatever. But please stay safe. We're not through this yet. But anyways, take care and have a good night.
Wash your hands, people. There we go.